So improving productivity is really key to having a sustainable system. And I think it's really important to understand that that doesn't necessarily mean pushing animals into a particular system, into particular management practices. It just means doing everything better on every single farm, regardless of system, regardless of herd size, regardless of region or location. So what we know from a science point of view is that if we improve productivity in terms of growth rate, in terms of milk yield, in terms of meat yield, even in terms of egg yield, then to produce a set amount of milk, meat or eggs, we need fewer resources. So less land, less water, less fuel, less pesticides per kilo of meat, per kilo of milk, or per dozen eggs. And that should lead to an economic incentive as well, because that improved productivity should make it more economically viable for the producer. And in fact, we can pass those savings on to the consumer as well, which of course is particularly important in these times of economic issues. So we should also see a cut in the greenhouse gas emissions per kilo of product with that improved productivity. And we've seen this across the world. So, for example, in the States, the carbon footprint of dairy production came down between 2017 and 2007 by about 20% per kilo of milk, simply because of improved dairy cow productivity. And as I say, that isn't one particular practice. It's better feeding, better genetics, better health, better welfare, better housing or pasture for those animals. It's simply doing everything better on every single system of improving productivity. And in this example, I'm going to show you, this is all data from the United States. We can see over time, we've made really positive gains. And this isn't because people have been necessarily thinking about cutting the carbon footprint until the last decade or two, but simply by feeding animals better, breeding them better, and having that improved productivity. So for example, in the States, we saw a 19% decrease in the greenhouse gas emissions or carbon footprint per litre of milk between 2007 and 2017, an 18% decrease in the greenhouse gas emissions per kilo of beef between 1977 and 2007. And if we move into pork and poultry, there was a 35% decrease in greenhouse gas emissions per kilo of pork between 1959 and 2009, and a 63% decrease in greenhouse gas emissions per tonne of eggs between 1960 and 2010. So again, huge gains in terms of the carbon footprint simply by doing everything better. About environmental impacts as part of sustainability, we have to understand that it's not just about carbon footprints. It isn't just greenhouse gas emissions. So those are obviously very, very important for all sorts of stakeholders and governmental entities at the moment, but we've got to think about other factors too. So for example, air pollution, water use, and also water pollution, the use of mined resources, nutrient loss into water, soil degradation, which can be a huge issue if we don't care for our soils and our pastures properly, and then overall that ecosystem health, again that balance between animal ecosystem and human health is really, really key to a sustainable future.